Good morning and a warm welcome to all who have joined today's edition of the Hindu Education Plus webinar on an important topic, how AI or artificial intelligence is reshaping the future. The webinar is presented by the Vellore Institute of Technology under the Hindu's Career Counseling series. Artificial intelligence that started as a discipline of study and research some 3 decades ago, and we all perhaps back then imagined it to be belonging to some kind of a fantasy world, has rapidly penetrated every field in the last 5 years. AI has transformed the world with machines thinking like humans. They're acting on our behalf and helping us to get our things done. So, 20 years from now, what impact will AI have? Will artificial intelligence, as somebody said, feel less artificial and more intelligent? Its large scale implementation and mainstreaming will impact our daily life and life changing solutions. Will machines destroy our jobs or technology? Will it improve our lives further? How do we prepare ourselves and get our students ready for this tidal wave, perhaps set to outrank every industry in future? Today, for the discussion, we have leaders from the academia and the industry to share their thoughts. And let me begin with the introductions and presentations with the only lady member on the panel, Dr. Geraldine Bessie Amali D. She's an associate professor in the School of Computer Science and Engineering at VIT Vellore. Herself an alumna of VIT Vellore, from where she completed her MTech with gold medal and PhD with merit. Dr. Geraldine has more than 40 researched articles published to her credit. In the last 3 years, she has also got 2 patents published and 1 consultancy project sanctioned. She will now introduce today's topic, and give a generic outline of artificial intelligence, discussing the trends in AI and their importance. Over to you, Dr. Geraldine.
Thank you, madam, for this lovely introduction. Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
So, good morning, everyone. This is a glimpse into the exciting field of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Human race has taken millions of years to evolve from our immediate predecessors, the primates. But at the same time, a silent evolution is happening, and the timeline of which is not even 100 years. And unknowingly, man and machines are co-evolving and shaping the world that we live in, to a point where smartphones have become our sixth finger and smart glasses have become our third eye. Like most of us, I was intrigued by the notion of artificial intelligence by watching movies, especially The Terminator. It was just fascinating to see that a bot can exhibit intelligence way advanced than the man that created it. So the question is AI just robots? No, it's beyond that. In recent years, global leaders and CEOs of multi-billion-dollar companies are talking about AI and its future. So is AI only for the elite? No, it's beyond that. So what is the real AI? The selfie avatar in your Snapchat is AI. The object recognition in Google Lens is AI. Your YouTube recommendations is AI. Your language translator models is AI. Your autocomplete in email is AI. Autocorrection in apps like WhatsApp is AI. Even the designer add-on which I use to make these slides is AI. And we have been watched everywhere when you are in public places for any suspicious activity. So to say that AI is omnipresent is not an overstatement. Now let's start as to how it all began. It began with a great British mind, Alan Turing, who in his seminal paper in 1950 asked a question, can machines think? And he proposed a test called the Turing test, where he says a machine is said to be intelligent if it can fool an interrogator into thinking that he is talking to a human and not a machine. And in order for the machine to pass the Turing test, it needs to understand and generate natural language, should be able to store and retrieve knowledge, and reason with it and draw new conclusions. But most importantly, when presented with a new circumstance, it should be able to extrapolate what it knew and deal with it, which is the essence of machine learning. So, what is machine learning? Pioneers in machine learning have defined it as the ability of computers to learn without being explicitly programmed. Tom Mitchell has kind of given like a tongue twister definition. But what is it? See, in traditional programming, all of us would have coded at least adding two numbers, the sum of two numbers. So what we usually do is we program the equation in any language of our choice and feed it to the computer. And to test if the program is working, we give the input and expect the computer to give us the output. Now, what if we do not know the mathematical formula because the problem is so complex? And human intelligence is not able to derive the mathematical formula so that we can implement it. Then we can try the intelligence of machine to give us that mapping, which maps the input to the output. This is the essence of machine learning. Learning happens in three ways: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. A mother teaching the alphabets to the child by showing the alphabet and saying what it is supervised learning. Segregating your emails to spam, non-spam, estimating what your house will go 10 years from now, or after giving a review, is it a good review or a bad review? Identifying objects in traffic scenes are all examples of supervised learning. Identifying hidden patterns in data with it being explicitly saying what it is unsupervised learning. McDonald's and Pizza Hut have opened outlets 100 feet from VIT. How do they know that these outlets would create a lot of profit? Because they identify a cluster of individuals who are ready to try new cuisines and also loosen their purse strings. These are examples of unsupervised learning. Digital marketing is another example. Reinforcement learning is the most exciting because the agent learns from the environment in the form of feedback. It's similar to teaching a dog how to play fetch. You cannot sit with a dog and teach the rules of the game. Throw the ball to the dog, and if it brings it back, you reward it with a treat. Otherwise, you frown at the dog. So the dog learns that bringing the ball was the correct action it has to do. So therefore, it repeats the action to earn more and more treats. Chatbots like GPT, self-driving cars, all use reinforcement learning. Up until one point, the programs were only mimicking the data on which it was trained. Then we have this new trend of generative AI, where programs are now capable of generating images and text, which at one point was only considered humanly possible. So the major breakthroughs in artificial intelligence started with Alan Turing's Turing test way back in 1950, to coining the term artificial intelligence in Dartmouth conference by the father of AI, John McCarthy, to the creation of the first chatbot, Eliza, in 1966, to creating backpropagation by Nobel laureate Geoffrey Hinton in 1986, which we still use for training till this day. AlexNet winning ImageNet competition, which opened the doors for computer vision. Generative adversarial networks proposed by Ian Goodfellow, opening the doors for generative AI. And transformer models launched by Google, which created all the pre-trained models which we have now, like GPTs. So why is this resurgence now? Mainly due to the availability of data, more computing power, and more companies investing lots of money in ML. So what is the future of AI? AI would be in every sector: healthcare, education, finance, and it might also personal medicine, drug discovery, also in making very important decisions like foreign policies and climate crisis. So now, where is VIT in the AI race? I had taken the data from Scopus, which indicates the number of research articles published. And we can see an exponential number since 2016 and still growing. And the pie chart indicates that AI is not only to computer science, but across all engineering disciplines. and also core science subjects use AI. We here in VIT get the best students, brightest minds in India. And these students participate in hackathons where they program for 24 hours, 36 hours straight. And this is one such project which they did in VR, where they incorporated speech recognition and object recognition to train a customer to speak in a native language, a language which they do not know, such that if they go to that particular place, they would be able to communicate with the vendors and so on. Other projects which our students have done, they've incorporated Edge AI into creating prototypes which can be used by people with mobility disabilities, and SOS signals can be sent immediately to their immediate contacts once they have taken a fall. Even students have incorporated the videos which you can collect from drones to identify if there are any objects of interest in restricted areas. Our students also go to prestigious universities like Carnegie Mellon, and this is one such project which our student was part of, which is called as the underwater snake in Carnegie Mellon University, and he worked with a team which helped in creating the autonomy of the robot. Samsung Prism is another initiative which we do in collaboration with Samsung, where the company provides us with the problem statements every cycle. Students work in close collaboration with the R&D mentors in Samsung and the faculty mentors in VIT to use ML and DL to solve real world problems given by Samsung. So I would just like to close by quoting Bill Gates that a breakthrough in machine learning would be worth 10 Microsofts, which he proposed in the early 2000s. So we are all living in an AI revolution, and we have to embrace it and reshape the world using it. Thank you. Over to you, Harry.
Thank you, Dr. Geraldine, for that very detailed overview of AI. It's like omnipotent like God and a scary explosion of information and control. Our next speaker is Dr. S. Sasikumar. He is currently serving as Director of Admissions at VIT Vellore and is Professor Higher Academic Grade. Dr. Sasikumar is a professor of chemistry. He earned his BSc in Applied Sciences, MSc in Applied Chemistry, and MPhil in Applied Chemistry from Coimbatore Institute of Technology. He holds a doctorate degree in Materials Chemistry from VIT University. A member of the Society for Biomaterials and Artificial Organs, Dr. Sasikumar's research interests span biomedical materials, drug delivery systems, and biomimetic materials. He has published 94 research articles, collaborating with researchers from 16 countries and engaging with several industries on consultancy projects. Dr. Sasikumar has also mentored a dozen PhD scholars. During his 2 decade stint in VIT in the School of Advanced Sciences, Dr. Sasikumar has held various leadership roles, organized numerous cultural and technical events, and served in key administrative positions. He was appointed Director of PG Admissions in 2022 and of UG Admissions last year, reflecting his continued commitment to academic leadership and student support. Over to you, Dr. Sasikumar, now to brief our audience on admission, AI-related courses, and how VIT handles the competitive discipline and placement opportunities for its students.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the great introduction. So first, I'll start with the number of campuses what we have. So we have campuses at Vellore, Chennai, Amravati, Bhopal, Mauritius, as well as Bangalore. Mauritius is the international campus. And we have students from all over India as well as all over world. So we get students from 60 different countries. And these are all our ranking parameters. So why ranking is important? Basically, see, word of mouth was valid until 20 years back. Now everything is quantified actually. So in that way, if you see in India, NIRF ranking plays a major role and we are in top 10 everywhere. In that also, again, it's split up into engineering, science, management, everywhere. So you can see in every field, VIT is in top 10. So again, I start with a disclaimer that it's not a promotional event for VIT. I'm seeing the higher education probabilities through VIT. That is the way you have to take it. and again global ranking. If you go for a higher education outside India, then you have to follow the QS ranking. In that also, we are in the top ranking. So this is the eligibility. So any organization, for example, right now JEE mains is going on. So they also have entrance exam. Like that, many of the topmost institutes, they'll have their own entrance exams. So VIT is having its own entrance exam called as VIT, which is scheduled in the month of April 20 to 27. And eligibility wise, if you see JEE mains, the eligibility is 75%, VIT is having 60%. And when we talk about A and ML courses, we offer in all campuses. You can see in VIT Vellore, these are all the courses. And it's not limited to this course. That is very important point, because even other major branches, something like mechanical engineering or chemical engineering, they can associate as a minor subject this A branch. Similarly, these are all the branches offered in Chennai campus. And these are all the branches offered in AP campus. Everywhere you can see that A and ML is offered, or even data engineering. And similarly, these are all the courses offered in Bhopal. It's a different combination. You can see that it's combined with cybernetics. And A can be integrated with any other course, maybe mechanical engineering or chemical engineering, any branch you can integrate it. And this is the new campus. This year we are starting, and there also we are running this particular program. So all through the entrance examination and the ranking. And this is 2 years program we offer in collaboration with L&D Mindtree, being with an industry integrated program, as well as the normal program. So again, 2 years program at Chennai. Again, we have in collaboration with Mindtree, as well as collaboration with Mindtree, we run data science and other programs too. These are all 2 years program. And again, in Bhopal campus, we run the same ANML. And this is Bangalore campus. So this is very unique. Actually, 1 year they'll do in India, and 1 year they'll go out of country in association with other universities in USA and other countries. And this is totally new. Actually, after 12th class, you can do postgraduate program, that is MTech program. So this is a 5 year course. Otherwise, you have to do 4 years of BTech and 2 years of MTech. Together, it will take 6 years. Now this it's shortened to 5 years, and in 5 years you can complete the course. And here also we offer A in Bhopal campus. And what is the uniqueness? How we are ranked in top in everywhere, whether it's in worldwide or nationwide. The reason is we have flexible credit system, so the student can choose the subjects. Only 60% are fixed. The remaining 20 to 40%, the students can decide what they have to learn. And a lot of internships and industry internship, in-plant training, all arranged by the institute, as well as international transfer program is there, as well as SAP. Last 6 months, they can go to any of the partner universities and they can do their project. And main thing, every one of us, we look for placement. Okay, so this many companies come to VIT, and still 3 more months of placement is left out. And again, we have dream offer, super dream offer, as well as Marcus offer. Okay, so dream offer is above 6 lakhs package, super dream offer is above 9 lakhs package, and Mark offer is above 20 lakhs package. And highest package you can see 88 lakhs, and average package is 9.9 lakhs per annum. So with a short note, I'll wind up my speech now, but later question and answers, let me discuss more. Okay, I always believe in this quote, there are no shortcuts to any place worth going. So any place worth going, you have to fight a lot, either through entrance, okay, or by means of extensive learning. Thank you. Ma'am, you're more mute. Actually, you're muted. We are unable to hear you.
I'm so sorry. So thank you, Dr. Sashikumar, for your very informative presentation. And now we will move on to the two industrial experts. LTI Mindtree is a global technology, consulting, and digital solutions company that enables enterprises to achieve digital transformation through innovative data and AI solutions. It is a subsidiary of Larsen and Toubro, from where our next two panelists are here today, They will talk about the market leaning towards AI and what is expected of the students and the future of AI as a career. So we'll first have Dr. Ratinavelu Arumugam. He's the lead education programs and academia engagement at LTI Mindtree, Chennai. Dr. Ratinavelu did his PhD in the field of computer science at NIT Trichy. He has 2 decades of teaching and administration experience in an engineering college and 1 decade of experience in industry. He has published around 20 papers in reputed journals and guided 2 PhD scholars. Dr. Ratanavelu is an expert member in statutory bodies like NAC, NBA, UGC, and is acting as a member in BOS and Academic Council Board at many reputed institutions. He will now talk on the future of AI and its alignment with industry requirements. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Hope I am audible.
Yes,
Good
sir.
morning, everyone. Happy to be here to talk on a very interesting theme, how AI is reshaping the future, which is most relevant today since the world is moving towards AI. In other words, people usually say that AI is for everyone and AI in everything. So AI is mainly used for a better decision making. But not only that, even creative tasks like you can compose music composing and art creation, everything is possible by using AI. In today's life, most of you might have noticed in day-to-day operations, either at home or office, using mobile or desktop, people started using a lot of AI tools like virtual assistants, facial recognition, speech response, chat GPT, a lot of smart home automation, and working with a lot of response, summary of the meeting. So in the industry point of view, there is a huge demand for such kind of skills. AI skills and Gen AI skills are highly demand now. There is a huge investment also by the government and technology companies to automate almost all the domains. That's very interesting change in the recent time. For an example, we can say the US government declared about 900 billion US dollar. That is equivalent to 40 lakh crores of Indian rupees. And similarly, Meta planned to invest 60 billion US dollar for the AI infra. So there is a tremendous growth in the technology in the last 1 decade, particularly last 2, 3 years after the release of ChatGPT kind of generative pre-trained transformer models. As you know, ChatGPT is a generative AI chatbot. Currently, it is based on GPT-4o LLM. Similarly, there are many other examples I can quote here, like from Google Gemini, which can generate text, images, and speech. Microsoft Copilot, it is also AI chatbot. And Meta AI is an assistant to get things done, creative AI generated images, and also get the answers to any of your questions. Similarly, Amazon Q and Apple Intelligence. So all the companies, leading companies are into AI. If you look at in the job market, like our organization. So the AI is one of the fast growing jobs in every IT industry. And it will continue to be there in the top. Along with AI, people should also learn and work and acquire expertise in big data, AR, VR. Those domains also playing very vital role today. In very near future, because now the topic is talking about reshaping the future, there'll be more and more automation is coming to every domain. So human will use more AI tools and technologies by reducing the human intervention. So that means as an outcome, it will enhance the human capabilities. And if you see in the next 5 years, we all will see a lot of growth in automation. Almost 80% will be automated. Whatever we do manually today using AI technologies. We can take IT automation, business process automation, enterprise automation. There are many fields. Now it is not only restricted to IT. So we are not talking about only IT. You can see this kind of automation in all the fields, right from healthcare, government sector, public sectors, manufacturing, energy, education, agriculture, oil and gas industries, automotive industries, and so on. So there will be a tremendous future growth using AI, which is definitely going to reshape the future. As a student, how should you prepare yourself to be part of this journey to reshape the future? What you are supposed to do, how you can grow yourself in the industry with the knowledge of AI. Because we are very closely working with leading universities. From our side, we are also giving our recommendations to improve the alignment between industry and the universities. So we are working with the VIT kind of top universities. We recommend the students should have core fundamentals and also strong knowledge in mathematics and programming skills, data science and algorithms, which will help them to develop AI applications. And also we recommend domain-specific knowledge. That is very much important to work in the cross domains. Suppose you develop AI applications in the field of manufacturing, oil and gas, IoT, energy and utilities. So you should have the cross-domain knowledge experience also that you have to acquire during your course of study. Because the future is not going to replace the humans, but it will be collaborating better with humans. AI will definitely empower the humans to focus more on high-level and creative tasks. So the education system where we collaborate and recommend, so we request them to adapt and also teaching future generations how to work alongside the AI. Because machines cannot replicate many things what human is thinking, creating, or visualize the things. But in the future workforce like you, will need to be agile and continuously learning and evolving and improving as AI technology is advanced. So in the industry, we prepare the graduates to play the roles in the field of AI domain like AI automation engineer, full stack AI engineer, data engineer, MLOps engineer, or AI application developer, Gen AI expert, NLP expert, Gen AI researcher. There are many roles and opportunities are coming up to meet the expectations and the requirements in the future of AI. So that's what we are all very closely working with leading universities to support and offer the courses in both undergraduate and postgraduate to meet the requirement of the AI. So with this, thank you so much. We will definitely connect and take your questions and give our answers. Thank you. So over to Hindu.
Thank you, Dr. Ratinavel. Our final speaker is Mr. Vishwanathan Raman, the Principal Director at LTI Mindtree in Chennai. A technology leader, a technical author, an AI strategist, a storyteller, and a programmer at heart with over 27 plus years of experience across the globe. He leads the AI competency development and generative AI research at the LTI Mindtree. Mr. Vishwanathan has authored 2 books on machine learning, R and Python. He has filed 4 patents in the domain of AI and general AI and co-authored 4 Scopus indexed technical journals. So over to you, sir, for your talk on advancements in AI in terms of product development and research. And as our final speaker speaks, I would request the audience to start sending their questions to the panelists. So over to you, Mr. Vishwanathan.
Hi, everybody. So thanks for the nice introduction, ma'am. So I'm a great follower of Andrew Ng. Hopefully everyone knows Andrew Ng by heart, right? Now, Andrew Ng is one of the pioneers in the field of artificial intelligence. And Andrew Ng had quoted some time back that AI is the new electricity. And he draws on the comparative, the transformation power of electricity that today we are almost at that particular standpoint where AI is kind of reshaping our industry and reshaping our business processes and whatnot, right? And everything begins with the field of statistics. I mean, before probably around 80s and 90s, a lot of investment went on towards the field of statistics where we made decisions based on nimble data, small amount of data. Between there was a good amount of drive between 2000 and 2010 where machine learning caught up, right? Where we were able to understand from patterns. Between 2010 and now, there has been a transformative power in terms of the rapid development. One, because availability of cloud computing, because you're able to auto scale your computing, and availability of data. And 2010 and beyond, you might have seen a lot of these deep learning, deep neural networks. And just FYI, neural networks have been there for quite some time, since 80s, right? But the deep neural kind of changed the game. But 2017 is where the things started to heat up, right? Because they came up with the Google published a paper called "The Attention Is All You Need," and that brought about a transformative power of neural networks. And now you could say since 2022, Chat GPT, which came, right, it kind of broke all barriers. Now, the fundamental aspect that why GPT, if you were to think why Chat GPT was so successful, is because it was able to connect to every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the audience, right? Every person was able to connect to the Chat GPT. Why? Because it used natural language as a mechanism to kind of talk to, right? So you could ask ChatGPT something, hey, can you write me an essay about a cat, and you could go about and try and create an essay about cat. So the power of natural language generation came with generative AI, and that came because of this attention is all you need, right? So generative AI has kind of fundamentally shaken the entire industry, right? So today, as we speak, from an industrial perspective, we go and identify a lot of those business processes which can be tweaked with AI. So AI is not meant to replace humans, right? AI is meant to augment humans, which means that how can AI improve the productivity of a developer? As a developer, we go and write a lot of codes, right? Can AI can AI assist the developer in writing better codes? Absolutely yes. And you might have seen GitHub Copilot or the Copilot, which is part of the industry, where you could go and say, I'm working on this particular problem. Can you give me a pathway to that particular code base? And the AI is going to generate that code base, correct? And then you can go and implement that code base or refine that code base as you see, right? But there are problems with AI also. It's just that we cannot take everything as it is, right? For example, one of the lawyers back in US got into a legal trouble because he wanted queried chat gpt, and it came back with certain kind of reflections in the legal domain which were non-existent at that point in time, and it really went in soup, right? So the power of generative AI comes with also the power of hallucination, which means the deep neural networks that we work with hallucinate a lot, which means it's very creative. So if you were to look at it from a creative and non-creative standpoint, the deep neural networks or generative AI transformers are very creative in that task. And creativity is very important from a particular point of view. For example, I'm writing an article, right? And I would like to rephrase that article, then creativity becomes very important. But if I'm doing a fact check, right, that I don't need creativity, I only need a fact check. So that as we speak, a lot of developments are happening in the context of responsible AI. Like, how do I make AI responsible? And there are plethora of new roles that have opened up for responsibility itself, right? So new roles that were non-existent a couple of years back, like prompt engineers, is a new role that has just propped up. There are new roles which talk about how do I talk to LLMs and build applications on top of it, right? So all in all, AI is going to transform the way we do things. I mean, earlier it was restricted to a select few, but now it has opened up because of the power of natural language generation. Right? It is being able to speak English, not only English. There are other large language models that are coming up which can do diversified, which can talk on different languages, right? Be it the Indic languages or European languages and whatnot, right? So all in all, AI is going to reshape our industry or reshape our thought process or reshape the way we are going to live. Thanks, Umar.
Thank you, Mr. Vishwanathan. As the questions have started coming in, and we'll soon take it, but I just wanted to kind of initiate the flow by asking all of you. I mean, there are, as you also mentioned, multiple emerging roles of AI, and it's really going to take control of our lives in the future. So the pluses we are understanding, but the minuses are also there. And the greatest fear, of course, is of AI replacing jobs or replacing humans, taking control of our minds. And then we are also losing our originality in many things. So I would like your inputs, like how would you kind of comment
Can I
on that?
start, ma'am? Can I answer this question?
Yeah, anybody. All of you could give your
So,
2 minute
yeah, one of the
inputs.
question I saw in the QA section is whether it will replace the teachers. Okay. See, every kid, they won't be doing the self-learning. For example, you go for a JE or VT or whatever may be the competitive exam, GMAT or whatever it may be. Some of the kids, they'll prepare their own material and they'll prepare by themselves and they'll crack these exams. And certain kids, they need some assistance, and certain kids, they need more assistance. So obviously it's not like that it will replace the job, especially in the academia. Okay, so it's not like that it's going to replace someone and totally they will take in control. It's impossible. Sometimes I think the human brain will do wonders, and decision making on that particular situation, considering so many factors, it can be done by the human brain better. So I feel that it's not for all, but certain segment will be taken up by the A. That's my response to your question. Thank you.
Yeah,
If
Dr.
I may
Geraldine, I
add
think, yeah.
to, yes. So when it comes to academia, even we get students from across disciplines, right? So what we have is a notion of flipped classrooms in VIT, where we can have classes as discussion forums. So the topics can be posted beforehand. The students can come prepared, and during the class hours, we can have a discussion as to what they had understood from that. And one thing which I always find when I teach programming courses is one student would come up with one type of logic to solve the problem. But if given to everybody, you can see that I'll get n number of logics. And when we discuss this in the classroom, now everybody gets the understanding of how to solve the problem in a better way. So I think most of our students who have joined us would agree with me that they did not like the pandemic era, right? Staying at home and just not interacting with the others and just learning by themselves. We humans are social animals, right? So we learn a lot by interaction only. And so therefore, I don't think it will be possible that the role of a teacher or in academics, it can be very easily replaced by AI. Even though we have multiple tools which will help them, even we have entrepreneurs from VIT who have created these tools, Edify and so on. His name is Ashwini Purohit, and he was also published in Forbes 30 under 30, where these type of AI would help in secondary learning. As to once you get the classroom learning, you can do extended learning, but classroom learning cannot be replaced. That is my perspective.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for that. Because I mean, that's of course is a very optimistic view, because we also get to see, like, or we hear that students use a lot of chat GPT to produce their PhD thesis papers. Even the applications which are received, they all read the same because they're all done with the help of chat GPT. So that was the worry, where we are losing the originality. I think Dr. Ratnavelu, you were wanting to say something.
Because definitely, as they mentioned, VIT professors, it will not replace, but it will definitely support the capabilities of the teaching, learning happening between the students and the faculty. Because, some kind of automation will help them to do better assessment. Okay. And also the engagement will get improved by using the AI tools. So that way we can say to support and engage the students to explore learning beyond the traditional way of teaching learning. So always teachers are playing very important role, not only teaching, they are grooming and making future generation with a lot of values and other good qualities. So AI will definitely support and enhance. That's what my view.
Right. So maybe Mr. Vishwanathan, I'll pull you in with the first question from our audience. Edwin Jose is asking, please tell us the use of an AI agent.
So agentic AI is the new buzzword today. Right? I mean, so I must say between 2022 and now, I think we have seen a huge amount of large language models that have come up. Every month we see a new large language model. Every day or every month we find a new concept. Right? Agentic AI is an extension of it, which means that if I'm doing a task of 10 steps, can I use individual steps, or like can I code those individual steps as services and get the job done? For example, I want to book a flight ticket, and let's say I go to the chatbot and say, "Hey, give me a flight ticket between Chennai and Kolkata," right? And I would like to fly on the lowest flight, right, or the lowest costing flight. So typically, what we would do, we would go to Booking.com, MakeTrip.com, and then we would go and search for these flights, and we don't keep doing it, and these flights prices vary by time. So an agent can do an effective job, which means you're outsourcing the job to an agent. The agent takes it over. The agent keeps looking for the flights, and you would have already specified the threshold, saying that, hey, book the flight if the price is at 10,000 for a return ticket. So the moment it spots that price, it goes and blocks your ticket, even makes a payment, which means I don't have to be involved in making the payment because I have authorized my agent to make the payment. So agent is nothing but a new way of designing programs where there are multiple steps involved. And this could be applied to anything, right? It could be like applying leave in a company, or it could be drafting a new paper, or let's say I want to find out the new trending segments in the research areas. Like I could create an agent for that, which will go and identify the topics against which these new trends are happening. So agentic AI is a new way of looking at things where we are kind of splitting the task into multiple services and have the agent do that services for you.
Muthuraja Chinnaswamy wants to know, is there a psychological impact of AI on students? Could the academicians give their inputs? I mean, is saying, please suggest some ways to improve the psychological insights also of the students and others through AI.
Can I take it, sir?
Yes, sure.
So of course, students are much smarter than us because they are the Gen Z students. So they are well versed with these AI tools. So AI, as Sir was all pointing out, is helping us to work better or faster, like remove the mundane tasks which we would have done pre these AI tools. For example, there is this ulearn.ai where you can upload a video of a lecture and you can get the key takeaways, what could be possible questions from that lecture and other things. So which is usually what we do, right, in a class when we give a lecture for 30 to 40 minutes. We'll have a small discussion. At the end, we'll summarize as to what that lecture was. So the students, if for example missed a class or something, they can take the notes given by the faculty and then they can do some learning on their own. And these AI tools really help them in ways to extend their study as opposed to making them lazy as to not putting in their efforts. That's what I feel.
Ma'am, I do want to convey a point. See, we cannot always see a rosy picture in everything. Okay. So, for example, I myself, what I do was earlier I used to frame any emails or letter or even a WhatsApp text carefully by looking after each and every grammatical error and everything. Right now, you randomly you put some words, 5 to 6 words, and give it to ChatGPT. It will make a nice letter or whatever maybe they email us. It makes me to think less. So psychological effect in sense, you get a confidence that A will give a better letter, and you will forget your talent. That is the negative side, what I feel. That's slightly reducing the human capability, what it's really capable of. So that's my point.
Kilan Vasudevan is asking for a generation which finished its graduation and studies before AI invaded our lives. So they wants to know, how do you think AI certification courses will benefit if we have already completed our graduation, say maybe 5 to 10 years ago, when there was not much of AI?
A lot of online certification courses are available. I think most of the premier institutes, they offer this online courses. They can take a certification program or even they can do a degree program. For example, VIT is offering VIT online courses, online learning. So we offer actually data science, we offer an MBA, MCA, like that degree programs also we are offering, as well as even certification. You want to know a little bit glimpses of that particular topic, then 6 months or 3 months certificate course is sufficient. So I think almost all the institutes, even IITs are offering these kind of courses. So that is from my side, actually.
Dr. Ratnawal, what do you think would be the future gadgets required in using AI by the common people?
See, now you know many mobile devices incorporating AI tools. Now you see Meta in WhatsApp and a lot of virtual assistants in every Apple using Apple Intelligence. So this is helping to solve a lot of problems, lot of queries, whatever they normally use day to day. Suppose you know this kind of translation or you know them share market, or suppose they want to find the way to reach. So all these suggestions are predicted by using the algorithm. So AI is helping where to predict and support the people, whatever they use in day-to-day applications, especially in the mobile. All computing devices are going to be with AI supported. But what we are predicting more than this, that is going to help in automation in all the industries. Whether they take it like this automotive sector, driverless car, and also that is able to predict you how efficiently this vehicle can save the fuel when you go to shortest route. So that way, so many kind of suggestions are predicted by the AI tools to help the people to take some decisions. So we see predominantly this kind of automation process are definitely saving cost and time and also increasing the productivity in almost all the fields which we are expecting in the future domains. So maybe in the next 5 years, you can see 80% of this effort, what we are doing now in the manual will become automation.
Mr. Vishwanathan, what do you think would be, just give me 1 second. You absorb a lot of university graduates. So what do you think, how updated are the students in getting into the jobs, or how do we make them more future ready? What are those, are we lagging in anything, or we are kind of getting it the right way there?
So learning is a journey. It doesn't stop. I am like I have over 28 years of experience. Even today, when I go to deeplearning.ai, I finish all the short courses. The shortest or the shortest answer to the question is you have to keep learning. There's no stop. So you'll have to keep learning. I mean, because just a month or 2 months or a couple of months back, we have a new architecture called a Jamba architecture. Now, the only way I would have known it is by going through all of these content, right? So learning never stops, and we are trying to bridge that gap. And I think Dr. Ratnavel and Sasi also pointed out that we have crafted MTech courses on AI and DS, which are being launched across these multiple universities, and we are trying to bridge the gap between what is needed on the job versus what you are being learned, right? So we are trying to reduce the gap, but learning never stops. So you'll have to keep learning because the technology is growing by the day, and there's no stop to the technology at this point in.
There's a lot of reiteration and repetition of the point that the progressive advancement in AI will replace the humans, within the next 10 years, perhaps. So Natarajan Rajaraman is asking about the possibility of future generation not getting employment. As it is, there are not enough employment opportunities, we keep hearing. So AI is going to disrupt it even further.
See, there will be disruption. I think I would like to quote Andrew Ng, who said that a radiologist who does not use AI will be replaced by a radiologist who uses AI. So a radiologist is a very complex job. It cannot be outsourced to AI at no point in time. But his job can be made much more easier if I can give him some insights, or I can give him or her some insights on what I am seeing, right? So the shortest, I mean, yes, there is going to be impact, but the way we are going to embrace the impact is by learning AI and being more, embracing AI and see how we can embrace AI within the context of what we do. Like developer today, can I replace all the software engineers? Absolutely no, because because today the bugs, because a lot of the code that is being generated by generative AI has a lot of bugs, right? So it doesn't come foolproof, right? Because as I said, there is a lot of creativity within the large language model, so it can do only so much. So the software engineer's job becomes the important job of taking that code, because it kind of increases his productivity by x fold. He takes the code, makes the code on his own, and then runs the job, right? So, in short, people who do not know AI will be replaced by people with knowing AI, right? That's what I would think. So.
Ma'am, I want to add few more points, shorter. This question, it looks like that entire work will be done by AI and everything will be replaced by AI. See, the automobiles are going to be there and it's going to run on the road, and someone is going to construct the towers and huge buildings and living systems and all of the rest of the things is there. It's not like that AI is the 100% of the life. So the question looks like that. The job market means it's not only the IT and the computer science engineering. See, the AI can be integrated with any other field, whether it may be civil engineering or rightly pointed out by the Vishwa sir that in the radiology, we are also working on that. Okay, the cancerous tissues and non-cancerous tissues with the kind of pixels it's going to form and the interpretations, the AI is going to help. So it's not like that 100% of the human life will be controlled by the AI. Okay, the rest of the fields are there. It's going to give a betterment in every field. That's my point. Thank you.
So there are a lot of similar questions like role of AI in agriculture, role of AI in health industry, role of AI in aviation. So maybe those you could answer them separately. Shaktivel Somasundaram is asking, what is the future of mechanical engineering field due to AI exploitation?
Okay, it's not an exploitation. Again, see, earlier days, if you go 40 years back, the car means you have to employ only the thermodynamics, right? The fuel will undergo combustion, and based on that, the mobility of the automobile will be there. So right now, the modern automobiles, if you take, you have a navigator, and the future predicted is driverless cars with a lot of sensors and all. Now the mechanical engineering is integrated with other fields like a control system, okay, from ECE or the electronics and communication engineering, information technology, all the fields are clubbed. And even the engine will be replaced by a battery. Okay, so again, an electrical engineer will contribute. So now it's going to be the cross-disciplinary and multidisciplinary fields will take up. Okay, so the core branches will be converted to more of cross-disciplinary and multidisciplinary, and we are facilitating that actually. For example, the mechanical engineers can do AI as a minor, or not necessary to be minor. At least they can take some elective and they can learn the basics. So every institute is facilitating that. So that's my point. Thank
So
you.
that's what somebody's saying, that other streams like ECE, mechanical, aeronautical, will they have enough job scopes in future?
Definitely. Only thing is, everywhere AI can be integrated. It's not like that AI is associated only with computer science engineering. Being a chemist, if I'm using AI for my research, then obviously the chemistry and this is almost it's a cross-disciplinary. It's not even interdisciplinary. Okay, so if two different, extremely different fields they can be integrated, then all these circuit branches and the core engineering are closely related to each other, and I think a huge job potential will be there. And second thing is, again, always we are talking about the rosy picture of AI and all. So whatever the problem AI is going to create, for example, deepfake videos. Okay, right now they are bringing back Marilyn Monroe and Ratan Tata live, and they are talking something about the current commercials, right? So now these kind of things, to combat these kind of problems also, we need people. Okay, so more and more opportunities will be there even to control AI as well as to employ AI. So I don't think that it's going to affect the job market. That's my perception. Thank you.
Yeah, most of the people are worried about the job market only, and maybe Dr. Ratina Vel or Mr. Vishwanathan could again address this issue of, because we are talking about AI everywhere. So
Yeah.
Divakaran S wants to know that as a student, how can we improve our skills and optimally merge with the industry?
Yeah,
What is that prerequisite?
I will tell you the two aspects in this. What are the initiatives taken by the government to introduce all kind of AI as a compulsory to be taught to all the branch of students, because they should aware and practice and understand what is going to happen in other field. And similarly, the domain specific courses which are included, in fact, what we are discussing myself, Viswa and with the VIT. So we are also recommending a lot of domain specific courses to computer science people also. There will be some cross learning across all disciplines. It is not going to be only with computer science, or it is not only with mechanical or electrical, chemical, because in our organization we have so many verticals which are focusing energy and utilities and oil and gas industries. So all and manufacturing. So if you look at all these 5 areas, we need people to understand about chemical, electrical, and mechanical to develop the AIML applications. So they have to study the courses like mathematics and statistics, and data science and data engineering, and also the algorithms to develop AI applications, plus the domain specific knowledge. So the question from all the departments, the answer is, this is the time we have to cross learn the domain specific subjects. Mechanical students can study more on computer. Computer students should understand the fundamentals of mechanical, chemical, electrical, to understand how to develop an applications to meet the business requirements. So there will be definitely cross training, but once you join the organization, definitely you have to undergo, as Viswa told, it's a keep on learning. It's a lifelong learning kind of things. But during the university time, like VIT and other forums, what we say that you have to cross learn the domain so that you will not get any fear on the job market. So you can go it. So there is nothing to going to stop you that you should not study or should not go to that field. So the field is welcoming everybody with the domain specific and relevant knowledge to support the industry. That's my answer. Yeah, Viswa can say or add any points.
I think, Dr. Rathanvel, you covered it all. Yeah, I mean, learning doesn't stop. See, without domain, you can't solve any problem. So if I am a life sciences specialist, right, and if I'm just a computer science engineer, if I don't understand life sciences, how can I create drugs? It's impossible, right? So if I am a mechanical engineer, if I'm working on power plants, and I know how turbines work, but if I don't know how the turbines work, how will I even find out an anomaly in the functioning of a turbine? Yes, computers can help you to identify anomalies in the functioning of turbines, but unless you understand how to interpret those signals, you can't even make a dent out of it. Right? So the important thing is having a proper domain, right? And there are domains, there are specific specialized domains, there are domains that you learn on the job. So the domain becomes a very critical part, and then you keep adding on in terms of, yeah, learning doesn't stop. As I said before, you keep learning, and then you see what are the different things applied to that particular domain. That is my 2 cents on it. Yeah.
Right. I think Dr. Geraldine, you have been quiet for some time. So, Harshita, could you answer Harshita's question? Which is better, data science or AI? Which has more scope in future?
Data science is more of an interdisciplinary field where we concentrate more on the analytics and statistical, providing insights into the data, be it structured or unstructured. But they are all subfields of all as the other experts were saying, we cannot just pinpoint to say, AI is completely different than data science. So it's just based on how we are dealing with the data and how much data insights we are looking into. That's what I think.
A slightly repetitive question again. Ashwin wants to know, how do we minimize the AI influencing humans' ability of thinking and reducing the curiosity of the people to learn things? Pretty valid, but I mean, you have been saying it, and all of you have been saying it in various ways. But still, I mean, how do we need to, or how do we minimize AI influencing the human mind or its ability to think and reducing the curiosity? He's asking.
Ma'am, actually, from my point of view, actually, the thing is, we decide where is the LOC, line of control, okay? How much we require it. So, we have to balance it. At a point of time, you're completely dependent on an AI. For example, Chat GPT, I'll take. Okay, the license version came, and later, at a point of time, you're unable to access because of it's going to be too expensive. All of a sudden again you cannot bring back your skills. So always I think we have to balance. At a point of time I think we should know where is the LOC. That is my point of.
Maybe Mr. Vishwanathan or Dr. Ratnavil, would you like to comment on Ponchitra is asking, with rapid advancement in AI, what does the government have to do to ensure ethics and any kind of biases in decision making? Because I mean, many people feel that AI is risking the critical thinking and the creativity of the next generation. That is again a major cause of concern.
So I'll chip in and then Doctor can add. See, it's an evolving field. Ethics is an evolving field. Like as I said, AI ethicist is a new role which has come up after the explosive power of generative AI. Because and again, there are a lot of industries with a lot of regulations. You cannot just deploy a model which does bias, right? Which means they are answerable. Which means if a model is going to give me, let's say I'm going to apply for a loan, and the model is going to deny me that loan, then they better have they will have regulations around it, which means why is this person being denied the loan. So it is not all black magic, right? So there are rules and regulations applied in place through which all these practices can be enforced. So as I said, each of these industries has their own rules and regulations which have already been framed, and there are some things which are already happening in those lines, so through which all these enforcements will happen, and AI will be regulated. It all depends on industry also. There are certain industries where there are huge regulations, right? There are certain industries where there are very less regulations. So it all depends on the balance. But I can tell you from a medical standpoint or insurance standpoint or a banking standpoint, there are a lot of regulations in place through which most of these biases will be kind of dealt with. Yeah, doctor, you want to add something?
Yeah. So thanks to Viswa. To answer this question, so ethics in the AI is very challenging task, as Viswa also mentioned. Even though there are a lot of regulations, what we recommend to the education systems from the industry point of view, that we have to inculcate the ethics when they start using the AI, when they start developing the AI to the different kind of markets. Because as Viswa mentioned, every market, every purpose, there should be some ethics. So the regulations cannot control for every person who utilize these kind of applications beyond the scope of ethics. So ethics are part of the curriculum, which we also recommend the institutions to follow and prepare the students before they start deploying such kind of practices with the audience. So it's a very right question that we have to follow ethics very importantly to maintain certain things when we deal with customers. That's very important for every organization to maintain and to avoid a lot of confusions among the customers. So that's very important topic.
Dr. Shashikumar, maybe you would like to take this. Like when we talk AI, we talk software, we talk, IT engineering, data, and all the science related fields. Though, of course, the emphasis has also been laid on, cross-disciplinary or multidisciplinary approach. So somebody is wanting to know how exactly and what are the fields of liberal arts subjects like philosophy, history, political science, how do they interact with AI? Like, what are the possibilities of a student who's doing UG or PG in these humanities courses? So how do they
Good
place
question.
themselves?
It was a fantastic question. The thing is, liberal arts, see, those days, if we want some literature, for example, I want to know about some Pallavas period, something I want to know and I want to visit that place. Rarely, you have to go to certain libraries and you have to collect the literature, you have to visit the place, and it will take years of time, a literature survey. Right now, with the help of AI, I think within fraction of seconds you will get the content, and a specific question will be answered by the AI. I'm saying from ChatGPT point of view. It's not anything else. The AI am taking only this particular point of view. I'm talking in terms of literature alone. Similar kind of things, and again, for example, right now in Keeladi, they are doing some research about how they cooked and what kind of pots they were using and what kind of fuel they used. All these things, I think, with the help of AI, you will get different dimensions. More information you will get. So I think beyond human brain, it can think laterally and vertically, and it will give a lot of outputs with the whatever the research data you're having. So in that way, I feel definitely AI can be integrated with the liberal arts also. That's my point.
There are a couple of questions from students who are perhaps interested to know, like they are pursuing BTech. Should they go for MTech or should they switch their course? Should they quit their job and do an AI integrated course? So a lot of those kind of doubts are there, like because everybody wants a better and a secure future.
Not necessarily that they have to go for a post graduation or an additional course on it. Better they can do certificate courses and online courses. As I already mentioned, we have VIT. Okay, and institute like BIT, we have a flexibility. It's not necessary that the mechanical engineer should read only all 100% of the subjects from mechanical engineering. We give flexibility. It's called as university elective and program elective. So almost some 30 to 40 percentage of the subjects is the student's choice. Even a mechanical engineer can go and do something in biotechnology, and they can check the corrosion induced by the microbes. Okay, so for that they may need biotechnology. They can go and take a course in biotechnology, and they can understand how the microbes corrode a metal. So this is also required. So like that, I think the higher education institutions, they should what to say they should allow this to happen. Okay, so this kind of system to be followed, and they can integrate any subject with any subject. In that way, I think ACT is in a particular direction, in that particular direction. That's what I feel.
I think the career counselors, perhaps in universities, are doing this job. Mr. Raman, you had talked about, I think, hallucinations in your presentation. And somebody's asking which LLM is best in the industry to avoid hallucinations, and also what scope does a mathematician have in AI domain?
So, hallucination is part of the problem. We can't get rid of hallucination. All large language models hallucinate. The reason the hallucination occurs is because they are creative. So you use something called a temperature variable to kind of control the creativity of a large language model. And it really depends on the field that you're trying to apply. Let's say I'm trying to write an article about a certain subject, then I would use creativity. Whereas if I'm just going to inquire about facts, let's say I'm asking about, hey, who is the current prime minister of England? I wouldn't want a creative answer. I want a factual answer. So it really depends on where you're applying and what you're applying for, right? So I think hallucination is here to say, but we'll have to understand how to control the hallucination and where hallucination can be beneficial versus it where hallucination need not be beneficial. Now, as far as mathematics is concerned, it is the holy grail of AI, right? I mean, somebody who is really mathematically, fundamentally strong in mathematics, then you are sitting on the holy grail of AI, right? Because you need to understand differential equations for backward propagation. You need to understand statistical algorithms. So everything is built. I mean, AI is an umbrella, right? So a sound mathematical knowledge is the best recipe for a success in AI.
Related question, maybe should developers or companies in India focus on developing new LLM or small LLM?
See, small LLM, again, see, there is large language model, there is small language model. Now, what is small language model? Small language model is created for a specific purpose. A large language model is more versatile. It can do n number of things. A small language model is not that versatile. It is it can do a certain single thing on a proper node, right? So I would think both are important. Large language model is important as well as small language model is important, because you want language models on to be able to be on the edge device as well, which is like a mobile powered small language model, which is where, so it all depends upon the applicability. Where do you want to apply that, right? And yeah, yes, definitely Indic languages, we should have large language models, because that's how you can interact. So that's how you can penetrate more. That's how you can reach out to the farmers in the agricultural space, right? So the Indic languages are going to be very critical, and that is going to be the scope of the future.
Dr. Ratnavil, what are the merits and demerits of AI in cloud technology? Parthiban Koteshwaran is asking.
See, the role of AI and the cloud are very closely working now. See, you can store all the data, all the computing things, and now you can do everything on the cloud. So AI is an application which plays an important role in cloud and also in cybersecurity. As an application, it helps for the computing purpose. Suppose you post some questions, you want to take the answer, or you want to create something. So the cloud computing, which is going to compute and then feedback based on the applications which you are going to use for the specific domains. So whatever data you store in terms of healthcare, or you store some data to analyze about the financial trading. So whatever we use, the cloud computing is to go to compute based on the applications which you apply for that particular domain, using so many AI tools as we listed out. As an example, Google Gemini or Copilot or Apple Intelligence or Meta AI. So they all use the cloud computing to compute and transfer the data to the devices in which people are trying to access. So the role of AI in cloud computing is there, and it's growing, and that is going to be the future. So as I told you, the role of big data and cloud computing along with this AI is going to be the market for next 10 years. There is no doubt at all.
Who would like to take this? Thiro Ilango wants to know, what should India do right now to be able to dominate AI in the future? And how far is India in AI behind? Sorry, is India behind China and USA? Would anybody?
What?
No,
Research.
see, I can't comment on where we stand with China and India, but what I can say is we are a very diversified country with a diversified set of languages. If we start applying AI into what we do, I think we are going to beat every other country. So Indic languages, we have got so many languages. In order for us to be able to penetrate to the state of Tamil Nadu or state of Kerala, we need more and more language models which can understand these Indic languages, right? And I'm just talking about two or three, right? But there's so many Indian languages. So it is going to be an explosive market if I start developing all these language models, right? And we are picking up the space, right? And we in terms of be the government initiatives. We are the first country with UPI, right? I mean, today you can go to any store and there is a flower seller. You can use UPI to pay the money, right? I mean, I don't think very few countries even do that. To even do that, right? I mean, I mean, that is the kind of technology development we are seeing. And it is no joke. I can go to a fruit seller and I can see a UPI code there. She's sitting on the road, see the UPI code. I can scan the UPI code, pay her the money. That is the transformative power, right? I mean, that's what I would think so. And we are way far ahead when compared to other countries. Just FYI. Yeah.
Okay, one
If I
question for the
might
academics.
add, yes.
Yeah, sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah, there are many startups coming in AI, especially our students. We also have this business incubator cell here, and we find more and more students, especially in the third year and final year, starting, in AI. So it's just a matter of time, and we also have our first unicorn company, right? Protrium from Ola. So we are still in the race. We are in the race. We are much ahead than many countries.
One question for the academicians, like how do professors and teachers find out plagiarism by students?
We have
In case of
Blackboard software. For example, for research articles, see, I too guide PhD students, and currently 6, 7 scholars are there in my lab, and more than 10 MSc students working. Humanly, it's not possible to go and monitor everyone individually. For example, 15, 16 people per day with my administrative and academic load, it's very difficult to monitor. Whenever they bring the data and paper, we will send it to Turnitin. In a software is there. So the Turnitin will identify even if 3 or 4 words are paraphrased. I'm not saying plagiarized. It's even paraphrased. It will find out and it will give where from it's taken. So that kind of Blackboard softwares are there in the market, and easily you can find out the plagiarism. And again, next thing is, as madam said, the people are using ChatGPT to reframe the sentences and writing the articles. Even that can be detected. Okay, it's not like we are not aware of all these things. Definitely we can detect that, and that is possible. So it's definitely we cannot cover this copying and all. That can be detected actually.
I think we've gone way beyond the time of our program. So as a wind up, I would, and there are a lot of questions unanswered. Please do take them up, and they're very student specific. They want to know that they're doing a particular course and how could they improve their skill set. So, but another common thing that has come out from the question is everybody, I mean, not sorry, everybody, majority thinks that AI systems are dangerous. So AI systems could pose risks if not carefully regulated, including the possibility of unintended consequences and loss of human control, says Rajashekhar Rajamanikam. And B. Ganesh is saying, what is the possibility of AI taking over the control by its own act and put its self-interest above human interest? So if all of you could give your 2-minute inputs on that, we can wind up the program.
Actually, I think this looks like a Terminator Part 1. Okay, the machine takes over the control over the human beings, but it's an imagination. Hollywood movies, it happens with that. See, anyway, we developed it and we know how to control it. The human brains only develop the artificial intelligence. It's not like that it's born by its own. So, if someone can develop it, we can destroy it and we can control it. So, both can be done by the human brain, and nothing is more bigger than human brain, that I strongly believe. And we all Indians, we believe it. With our intelligence, we can control the intelligence of the machines, and definitely it will be in our control. Even if it starts thinking by its own, I think the control will be with some what is that, industry or an individual, so that definitely I think they can put it to off. So that is my answer, and I expect the answers from other speakers. Thank you.
It's like man-made disaster. We have climate disasters, like man-made monster we have created.
It's a very philosophical question. So I would say we should turn to the pages. I am reading a book called The Courage to be Disliked by a few gentlemen from Japanese gentlemen. It's very, very interesting and follows the Adlerian psychology. I think we should read it. But it's a very philosophical question. Yes, there are benefits. A mobile phone, when it came, there were wrong users, right users. Over a period of time, the right users went up, right? So I think that's how it is going to be. So good or bad, we need to find out a way to regulate what we have created and see how best to make utilize, because a non-adoption is not possible, because we need to adopt, because AI is going to give a lot more benefits in terms of drug discovery, in terms of very good things that can be done with AI. Yes, there are problems like deep fakes, right? The other end of the spectrum. It's about how we adapt and how we regulate it is under our control. That's what I would think.
Yeah, that's a true statement. See, any initiatives or technological developments, there will be some plus and minus. So it depends upon the need and requirements from the people perspective and also the industry perspective. So we have to take it for the growth wherever it is needed and wherever it is applicable. In the today's computing world, we cannot stop any technological development, but we should also be careful that how to use this. So ethics plays a very important role, and also the regulations from all the government and the technological giants are very keen on regulate whenever it is going beyond the violation. So we have to identify where to apply, but definitely it is going to enhance the capabilities of the human, and also it is going to enhance the productivity. So it is going to optimize many things, and it's going to give the benefits wherever we see the possibility of implementing the AI. So where we should not neglect of using that. So it is going to give us very quick decisions based on the data. So data is going to play a very, very important role, because that is a very crucial part in developing any of the applications or any of the ML algorithms which we try to use for each domain. So the automation is going to be there in each domain. We have to see that how we are effectively handling the tools and technology of the AI to reshape the future. That's very important role. In fact, with the industry and universities, they have to join together and teach the younger generation to learn and adopt these technologies in the right sense. So that's my opinion.
Dr. Geraldine, we started with your presentation, and let's wrap up with your comment.
Yes, ma'am. So obviously, like Sir was mentioning, every field has its pros and cons. And when Sir talked about data, the privacy of data, that's the most important, which I feel like, whenever our data is being used, in which way is it used? And a recent discussion about how these LLMs are trained with copyrighted data has also crept up. So as these tech giants make LLMs for profit, I think more and more regulations have to be done such that it is for the betterment of the humanity as a whole, especially from academia point of view. That's my.
Right. So thank you so much. Like, we have to bring this invigorating webinar to an end because of shortage of time. So what is apparently certain is that in future, AI will automate the workforce and perhaps offer similar value as humans. And there are, of course, infinite possibilities, and everybody has to be in a ready mode. I thank all our panelists for sparing the time, and attendees who joined today's webinar on how AI is reshaping the future, presented by Vellore Institute of Technology under the Hindu Education Plus Career Counseling series of webinars. Thank you all once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.
Thanks to Hindu and the LNT for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, team.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.